This is the part we want to make, but first, so important, before starting, let's gaze at this slide. Once you've done that, we can begin to make this part, and I'm going to make it in such a way that when I view it in isometric view, it'll look just like this. So I'm going to choose a particular plane on which to start my sketching. So let's get started. So we come up here, new part, create a sketch, and I'm going to create a sketch on the YZ plane, and I'm going to sketch out the right side of it because I think that'll be easier to do it. So I have an L, sort of a backwards L with a long base that's 3.5 by 2.5, and that's 1, and that's 1. So I think what it looks like is the following. Let me just sketch it out with a line tool. So as I'm doing this, I want to, so what was that, 3.5, 3.5. So use the scroll wheel to back out a little bit. Left click, and then go vertical. I believe this was 1. Left click. Actually, that was more than 1. So let's go ahead and delete this piece here. And I want to go up 2.5. So I can just resume with the line tool up 2.5 like that. And then I believe this is over 1. And this is down, let's see, 2.5 minus 1, so 1.5. I'm coming down right here. So that's 1.5. Enter, and I'm going to come back over here and use the little cartoons that pop up, the little glyphs, to show you that you are in the right spot. So if I finish the sketch and I want to hit my little house here so that I can see it, I don't know why it disappears on us that way. I think that's correct. So now I want to extrude a distance of 0.5 plus 1.5 plus 0.5. So what is that? 2.5. Let's extrude. There's only one area for it to extrude into, so it picks it automatically. Let's go the other way, a distance of 2.5. And that's where we start out with. I think I can make just 2 little cuts in order to make this work. So let's take the top part here. Let's cut that little chunk out there to give it these little ears. And that is centered here. And it goes down 1/2 inch, and it's 1.5 in width. So to do that, what we're going to do is put a sketch right here. And here's a technique. I don't know if we've talked about it before. I don't think we have. Project geometry. If you click this little button here and then click this face here, then what that'll do, I think yours is going to be yellow here, but mine is green, and it just projects the edges of that face onto my sketch plane. So I'm going to use a rectangle here, and I'm going to have it one point coincide with the top of that edge, and let's see, I go down 1/2 inch and over 1.5 and then 0.5. Left click, right click, OK. And now you can see if I come down here to the lower right, I need one more dimension, and that is the distance from the edge. So I have to locate this thing, and that's 0.5. Finish that, and I'm ready to extrude. And I select my area, and you can see there are a lot of different areas here, or choices here. There's join, there's cut, there's intersect, and extents. There's a lot of things here. I'm going to choose cut. That's going to get rid of stuff, and the distance happens to be bigger than the thickness I need to cut away, so it does go the whole way. But I could just put all here. I could select all in the extents, and it'll just get rid of all of that. Okay, that looks pretty good. So that's up there. And now we need to do this here. So that's 1/2 inch wide, this little cut here, and it goes back 1.5. So I'm going to create a sketch here. And again, I'm going to project the geometry. Again, yours is probably green, yellow. The colored line. Mine is green. And again, another, let's see. So as I come along here, you can see that little arrow pointing to a red line shows that I'm on that line. So I'm going to come over here, and I know this is 0.5, and it goes back 1.5. Enter. And let's see how it's centered, but they tell us that it's 1 inch from each edge. Yeah, I think it's 1 inch from each edge. So again, I'm going to locate this little area here as 1, and I'm fully constrained. Finish, extrude that region. It's going to be a cut, and I'm going to put all the way through, and I think I've got my part right here. And you can see that by making this sketch on the what was it, the YZ plane? Yeah, it was the YZ plane, that it naturally looks like the picture that I'm given, which is right here. Had I chosen a different plane to put that on and made it the same way, it would have been just oriented differently. Okay, let's find the volume of this thing. So you right click on the part name, go down to iProperties, Physical, Update, and you can see that this part has a volume of 11.000 cubic inches. And so that's a way that you can confirm that you've made the part correctly if, for example, your instructor gives you a value of 11.000. Okay, so that is that part. Thanks for listening.